The Herald, Part 4. All this while she'd been lying to me. Baiting me, using me. When I met her at the White Spire, I knew she'd brought me back for a reason, but this... It seems that more has happened in the past 5 years than I could have imagined. Yeah, the person who brought us back in the first place for the investigation was basically behind the entire thing. Take a little bit to make sense of why that happened then.
That is a wise move. Knowing the dark trajectory of this investigation, it would be wise to divorce the registry from it.
Just seems a little bit cold leaving you out in the dirt like that.
I think it's excellent. Now it all depends on how the Marshal's going to spin it, eh?
I will tell Fabio that you have been dismissed from the case. He will likely still request that I watch you, seeing how close we are to learning what the artifacts actually did. But at least you will no longer associate this with the registry.
Ah, how wonderful it is to have such an honest spy among us, no?
Better an honest spy than a deceitful friend. Now, I take my leave. The Judge Master should hear this from me in person.
I wonder what'll happen when she finds out that we've been keeping things from her.
You know about the artifacts? Cicero, how does... Cicero? Are you all right?
I'm fine. Just...
Help!
Who's that?
Someone in trouble. What are they doing here?
Spear point!
Oh hey, the paper guys are back. Haven't seen them for a while. How you guys all doing? Got some Splinter Fae, the Rage Fae. Let's send everyone we can after the Splinter Fae, because they go down much quicker if I remember correctly. Although I think those are different variations of what we've seen in the past, to be fair. We'll see what I can do about these guys, though. Do what I can to blow some things up. Putting down some turrets. Cool. He's just channeling in some other direction right now. There we go. Pausing is becoming less necessary over time, isn't it? That's interesting.
In the corridor, sir, please. The Valencio needs help. Tristan!
I'm used to games requiring a little bit less tact over time as I continue, just because they generally get easier because I am generally completionist-ish, and that results in me doing a lot of extra stuff. I guess there's no stuff hidden around here. Usually doing everything involves eventually over-leveling the game to an extent, whether you want to or not. But this game has very controlled leveling, where you can't not... You have to get experience at very specific times or else. I mean, or not even or else. There's literally nothing... You can't not get the experience at those exact times. So I'm surprised that the difficulty curve's changing.
Tristan! There is something beyond this wall, and it is not going to hold much longer. Tristan!
Do not let them pass.
Target practice.
Well, he had a rough time. So 2 more rage, 2 booklings. Oh, Bibliofae. Definitely targeting that guy, because it's going to keep spitting out little ones until we're done. Let's see what we can do here. We gotta move, because I'm being targeted here. But hey, ample distraction for a bit. Oh, got stuck. Uh-oh. That wasn't intended at all. There we go. That'll keep him busy for a while. He's pretty handy in a fight. He's really good at controlling what's happening among all the enemies in the enemy forces. You alright?
What happened?
Faye. A few of my men and I were walking through the hallways when they attacked. I don't know where they came from.
There are more of them beyond.
Yes. Allow me to recover, and I will summon the portiere.
We don't have the time. Rest well.
Well, we'll make it, perhaps.
This mist again. I'm ready.
It's weird to have mist associated with wood and and paper-based enemies. You just kind of would feel like that might end poorly for them. Throwing down what I can. Oh, getting attention here. See what I can do about that. Oh, weird.
It's heating up.
I wanted to aim that skill, but it didn't let me aim it. It just automatically cast it somewhere. That was weird.
I need help.
We need to throw down a few distractions here. Amadeus going down. Okay, she's safe-ish though for the second. Oh, I'm accidentally clicking on individual people and taking control of them when I don't mean to. Whoops. Yeah, I'm trying to pick targets for my casting spells, and I'm clicking on my party members instead and taking control of them instead of casting.
Lucia's office.
No surprise the mists are thickest here.
Really should have been the first place we checked. Wow, he's really a mess. So he's not only is he tied up, but he's impaled on both legs. That's a rough time. Nothing stashed about.
Palof!
This is torture.
We have to get him out of here.
The chair has been bolted to the ground. We must remove the stakes.
We're going to get you out of here, but we need to remove these stakes. Do you understand?
No, Cicero, no!
What? Not again.
Oh. Wait, are we gonna start fighting?
Here they come.
Okay, there we go. That was weird. Guess it was waiting for me. So, I wonder if removing the stakes itself was also a trap. Oh my goodness, what? How big is that attack range? Should I be telling everyone to get out? Oh. They might not be able to. Oh, it was just a pulling move. Well, now it's definitely an AoE though. Let's not hang out in there. We'll try at least. You can flank, so let's try to do that. There we go. If we're gonna get pulled in anyway, we might as well accept that. There we go. Trying to make it work. So he's gonna periodically pull us in, and I just need to try to not stack our characters up. Unfortunately. He's going down. Uh-oh. Oh. Kinda walked into that one, didn't I? Let's go for flanking again. If nothing else, it helps reduce the AoE damage that's gonna happen. Got him.
Thank you. Thank you.
How is he?
Lost a lot of blood, but he'll make it.
We'll take over from here.
We will meet again soon, Cicero.
Cicero, you all right?
Fine. I'd like to take a look around. Find out how this happened.
Of course. I'll leave you to it.
Song's sake. What was all this about?
Summoning Fae with his blood.
How?
She had agents within these walls. Must have done this before she pulled them out.
But why? What did she hope to achieve?
Keep searching.
Yeah, what if this is a distraction? What if us searching at all in here is making us not look somewhere else while she's doing something else? So he's just a random guy, more or less, right? She just grabbed somebody that she could stab to do blood sacrifices.
The sunken star.
Did you say something?
No, nothing. Did you find anything?
Nothing but moldy old cases.
Same.
Well, I don't think there's anything left for us here. We should go.
To the Hall of Songs?
Calden. I'll go. The both of you can head back to the Estiguary. I'll meet you there.
Cicero, did something happen in the prison?
What?
You seem, I don't know, a little off.
I just need some rest. It's getting late.
There's still things he knows that he's trying not to share with pretty much anyone else.
There you are!
Kyrie!
Cicero, you need to see this.
All right, you can leave after this. Come on.
By the blood! What is this?
You were right, Cicero. Your theory that the Fae were made of the mist was correct, but I've spent the past few days distilling it. Look at how bestial it is. There is no sense of order about it whatsoever. Now, look at this.
It's inquisitive.
And I spilt no blood.
How?
You were right about the mists. They are the building blocks of the Fae. Places with a higher density of the mist have more Fae, but what you mistook was the trigger.
Not blood, clearly.
It's... oh, how do I put this? Emotion is a close approximate. I don't think our language has an equivalent. It's, a state of mind. It's an experience. It's a...
Scythe?
Yes, exactly.
What's that?
Scythe. It was something the Dementicate were trained to manipulate as they matured, though we've never learnt what for. It roughly translates to different mediums of thought, of being. It's difficult to explain. You're saying that various Scythe create various Fae?
Yes, pain is easy to replicate, and the Fae that produces seems base, but this one...
What were you thinking of?
The first day that I was a Vegelus, walking into the Conoscenza, seeing all the knowledge that was at my fingertips.
And different states, feelings, thoughts, create different Fae?
If there is enough mist in the vicinity, yes. I haven't boiled it down to a science yet, but it's definitely on the way there.
Well, this is more than enough. Thank you, Kyrie.
Of course. Rest well, Cicero.
You gotta wonder what creates some of the Fae we're encountering then, if it's some kind of rage. Especially the big one. That's an interesting one. Dementicate, Scythe. Our language has no word for it, but Amadeus says the Dementicate trained to manipulate them, these things called Scythe, which summon Fae. I am not a Vegelus, and I cannot even begin to guess the mechanics of this concept. I can barely grasp, but if we can find a way to use it to our advantage, Aegis, I can feel the world shifting beneath my feet. That would be a big one. They'd figure out the essence of what exactly makes a Fae work. Day 3, Part 4. Kyrie has taken the research about Fae seriously. She has determined that a thing called Scythe is required to create them, not blood. She has confirmed that the mists fuel the creation of Fae. Still, we don't know why Razatov needed this information. Yeah, we do not yet have the connection between Fae and Mascherines, which presumably are still his motivation when he was creating Fae. Maybe you're right. Maybe us dirges aren't that... Now, that... Okay, what happened? What then? Just that our media hasn't taken us any better than Sicarios and Sarah's. You're right. Maybe the Faber and the Agrigani now have the... What? The fools? It's too much. That's too much text too fast in like a second. Alright. What happened to press A to continue? Or voice acting? Dirgers and Merumento. Dirgers are Masquerada who practice Merumento and specialize in the production of music through instruments. When the idea of Merumento had first been developed, it had been seen as something that no Masquerada would practice on the field of battle. After all, how could playing an instrument possibly be practical for anyone concerned with staying alive in the midst of battle? Those who dared take the first step quickly quelled any naysayers. The distance that Merumento provides, that the dirges in battle, has been the key to their success. Dirges have the potential to subdue and cripple their foes before they have the chance to harm the dirge, and if that has If that is insufficient, they are armed with the ability to breathe a flicker of life into their elements through their songs, effectively summoning minions to work their wills. To be too confident of the abilities of a dirge, however, has led to many a death of the musicians, for the great focus required to hone their will in battle leaves them with little mental latitude to work quick reflexes. Dirges often stand still while practicing Memento and thus make easy pickings for other Masquerada who manage to evade their debilitating assaults. Which is part of the reason why, because he's so stationary during his attacks, he needs to run away on a regular basis, which is part of why they encourage you to do so by having them recover Mask Charge by running around. Or was it Focus? I think it goes Mask Charge. I think all that's left is our exit. Just doing a quick lap. You never know when there's more lore stashed around here.
2 stops. The first, the Estiguary. We'll be dropping Armadea and Vasco off there. Then we'll head to the Hall of Songs.
All right, sir. And that, brother, is the history of the Terald family, from the start to their gory demise. Brother? Are you asleep? Hey!
7th Canticle, coins and kin.
Oh, brother.
Don't be too harsh on him, Elena. It's been a tiring few days.
I know.
I should be back soon with the Mariner.
We'll be here.
Time for more sadness. It was a little rough that I hit the sad parts of this game and Owlboy on like the same day. So that was a rough time. Sir, I left you alone last time, but please... It's embarrassing. Sir, this is public property and I'm afraid you're not allowed to simply... I'm singing to the plants. Singing? To help them grow, yes. Singing, right, I suppose that's acceptable. Wait, did you think I was? Yes, I did. Well, that's embarrassing. What did you think? Okay. Wow. A lot of color around here, isn't there? Interesting how every building has different colored plants on it. Its leaves are so orange, agreed. Nowhere else in the country have I seen vegetation so vibrant. Not even in Estra. I wonder what it is that gives the flora here so much life. The songstresses claim it is the water. The water flows elsewhere as well. Perhaps it's the songs. The flora also, perhaps. So I think they're saying that the magic of the music here, because we just discovered, we're just discussing the concept of there being an entire class of casters basically that use magic for their spells. So, like, that could be affecting the color of the plants around here too as we go around. Nothing stashed over here. Where's our little entry? Where are you? There you are. The Estra Fantasia. The Estra Fantasia is a haunting forest that lies north of Ombre. Far beyond the echoing plains, it is not a location that many have explored, for the wildlife and the fae that are to be found in the area are frightening and dangerous at best. At first glance, the Estra is a beauty. The leaves of its trees are vibrant and nearly garish, and the amount of life to be found within is startling. But even a short venture beneath its boughs is certain to introduce any traveler to its dangers. Despite its apparent hazards, the Estra is a favorite haunt of the cacciatori of Ombre. Not simply for the solace they find between the trunks of its trees, the cacciatori are of the belief that studying what lives in the present is more likely to educate them about the secrets of the land than looking always to what lived in the past. It's true. Studying modern animals helps you learn what's going on with past animals just as much. There's a song. Is it time to learn the other canticles? 5th canticle, serpents. 6th canticle, scattered. More or less as expected. I figured we'd come back here for the other canticles at some point. It kind of helps you tell how many times you're going to visit here when you have more canticles to learn still. The fifth canticle, Serpents and Ships. The fifth canticle is the longest canticle that Ombre has seen in its history, lasting 16 Masquerada. Many Vegulists consider this the age in which Ombre flourished the most. The arts blossomed greatly due to the Teralds, Miliara, Messenera, Mermento, and Mecantare were developed, and existing media further researched. Trade between Ombre and the other nations bloomed and brought a gushing of wealth into Ombre's coffers. All of this did not happen in a vacuum, however. Other nations saw the wealth that was flowing across the Midnight Belt, and pirates from all around began to raid the trading vessels, beginning a chapter of the canticle called the Song of Crimson Tides, which lasted from 215 IL to 225. The Sorelle was created in 220 in the midst of the war against the pirates. After the pirates were dealt with, however, the trade did not only resume. The other nations, having witnessed for themselves the strength of Ombre and how fiercely it would protect its, and by extension their, trade routes, sent their goods over the belt with almost forceful generosity. Each nation at the time attempted to curry Ombre's favor, for through the Song of Crimson Tides it had proven its worth as an ally. The Masquerada began, and a great many Ombrians from the Randagia relocated in the city, vying for precious space before it grew too full. The end of the fifth canticle was called for after the excavation of the Black Crib and the founding of the Singing Tree. The sixth canticle, Scattered Seeds. The sixth canticle lasted for 10 Masquerada and witnessed the greatest growth in Ombre's population in its history. Lured by the promise of wealth and power, people from every nation clamored to be part of the City of Shadows, and the influx called for expansion. The ruins were no longer feared, what with the power of the Mascherines having been discovered. An empty space under the Sierra Verde was fully utilized. With the nation's success came the latitude for research into the Dimenticate, and the Vegulists turned their focus to the past. The Luca, by this time, had turned sour, and the Labora Solis was established in 268, followed shortly by the Dieci Sovrani in 280. The sixth canticle was put to an end when the registry imposed a law restricting the number of people that could come into the city. It had grown too full, and if anyone still wished to live in Ombre, they would have to do so in the Randagia. This effectively ended the Masquerada, and the songstresses called for the end of the sixth canticle. That's interesting there. So they have a period that's seen as the great time in their history, but then after that there was a great moment of so many people moving in that the era changed and ended, more or less. It diluted the population in different ways, for better or for worse, really. Anything else around here? Nope.
I apologize. Did I interrupt something?
Venera, you may leave us. I will be in good company with the Inspetore. Come, Cicero, have a seat, please. I can hear an ache in your voice.
Were you in the middle of a composition?
I was, in fact, for the 8th canticle.
So soon? The canticle hasn't even been declared over.
I know, but this is the last year of this canticle's 15th Masura. If anything is to happen in the coming months that should spell the end of the canticle, I'd like to at least be prepared. Composing a song that chronicles 60 years' worth of events is not something that one does in an evening. But there is something on your mind, isn't there? I can hear the ripples of unease in your words.
It's just... How do you do it, Mirabat?
Well, first, you have to look at all the major events that take...
I mean carrying such a responsibility. A whole society rides upon this hall, your hall. How do you handle something like that?
When I lost my eyes, some 28 years ago, Do you know what I missed the most during the years after?
The faces of the dozens of handsome men that threw themselves at your feet?
Oh no, Cicero. There were only 7 that did that. No, I missed seeing smiles. Of all the years that I've been a songstress, those were the hardest.
But you pulled through them.
I drifted, more accurately. In a situation like that, can someone truly ever know what direction to head in? I thought about it, day and night, about how I could make myself feel the way I did before. How I could find that passion that I had lost along with my sight.
And you found your answer?
No. My answer found me, I'd say. It came from a small boy who had been ambushed by thugs outside this very hall and had been screaming for help.
And you rushed out, blind as you were, masquerine on your face, and you sang.
And sing I did, with all the strength in my bones.
The flames that roared that night. Ages. I still remember the look on their faces.
I scooped the little boy up and brought him into this hall. On our way in, he whispered a little something in my ear. Do you remember what he said?
Thank you. And you're very pretty.
So he did. So he did. And that was the first time that I realized that you don't need to see the smile. You can just as easily hear it.
Thank you, Mirabas. It was nice to hear that story again.
But that was not the answer that you were looking for, was it?
In all honesty, I don't even know what I'm looking for. But that's enough sullenness. I'm here for a mariner, Calden. I think he might have just had a song sung.
He did, in fact. Razatov Azrus. A tragedy. He was such a sweet man. He'd been visiting the hall quite frequently over the past few months.
Razatov? Whatever for?
The Zoric culture across the sea believes that a person can sense when their time is up. They tend to try to tie up as many loose ends in the world as they can. He had me help him put a song into a chime specifically for his brother, telling me to hand it to him in case this happened. It's like he knew.
And the mariner is somewhere on the tree?
Yes, at his Legacies branch.
Then that's where I'll be. Thank you for the story again, Mirabas.
Religion in Ombre. So one of the things that's really coming up, like one of the things I'm realizing over time with all these people he has connections with is that you really get to feel how much it must have hurt Cicero to leave in the first place, because he has so many bonds and connections with so many different characters here, and he's just been gone for so long because he couldn't stay, or he thought he couldn't, and that must have been really hard, and that's probably why he was a drunk the whole time, and why he has that reputation for what he turned to when he was gone, and brought shame upon himself, perhaps. Religion in Ombre. The soils of Ombre are not fertile ground for religions to take root, considering the fact that the city was founded by a man who had been exiled from his homeland on the basis of religious blasphemy. Though the Fist is no longer around to cool the worship of extraordinary deities, the citizenry has grown much too comfortable with their independence from dogmatic scripture, and had any proselytizers quickly learned that it is practically impossible to spread the influence of religion under the shadow of Sierra Verde.